Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be making an art kit. It's marbling paint by Dan&Darci. So I'm just going to open it up and see what we have inside. So off the bat I can see we have an instruction book and there's this white plastic tray and some paper. This scraper, some plastic needles and a pipette, a plastic spoon, some carrageenan powder, and we have the paint. This is probably a good time to mention that this is a 2-day project. I did look at this ahead of time and I did prepare for that so I can just get started today. For any of you curious to know what you had to do, you have to mix the carrageenan powder with water and let it sit for 24 hours before you're able to use it with the kit. So I did that ahead of time, and so I'm going to skip ahead. You just fill the tray with that liquid, and then you're good to start painting. I've also put down some plastic wrap so I don't make a big mess, because I can already tell that this is going to be pretty messy. Alright, so now at step 2 of let's get painting in these instructions, it's grabbing the bottles of paint and squeezing them just above the water. Another thing to mention is that the instructions do say to have a prepared surface ready to dry the paintings, so I just grabbed some paper towels. I'm not really sure what they meant by prepared surface, but I realize as I go through this that the few paper towels I picked up were not enough. You want to make sure you have an area close by that you can put these, so that when you take them out of the water, they don't drip all over and make a mess. And you also want to make sure it's a big enough area for up to 10 of these, since that's what you can make with the kit. I'm not really sure what to expect with this first one, so I'm just making sure that the colors I put next to each other are colors that I don't mind mixing. I don't want to put green next to pink and have it turn brown. The only color I seemed to have trouble with was the yellow. It didn't want to stay on the surface of the water and kept sinking. Alright, so with all the paint on there that I want for this one, it's time to take a look at what tools I have available. So what I called plastic needles are actually called styluses in this kit, and they're used to just pull through the paint. And what I had called the plastic scraper is actually a spreader, so that you can use to spread the colors around. Once all the paint has been mixed the way you want it to be mixed and everything's where you want it to be, you place the paper right on the surface of the water, and then you're supposed to be able to quickly lift it up and flip it before the paint runs and without it sliding around. This was probably the hardest part of this kit because everything just seemed to run off the paper and smear. There's also a suggestion to use blank printer paper to clean the surface of the water between each piece. Because this is already going to make a mess and the colors just seem to slide off the paper anyway, I decided after this first try of using the printer paper that it wasn't worth it, and that it was fine if there was some residue from the piece before it on the surface of the water. So as far as the kit goes, that's about it. So I'm just going to go through and make the rest of these pieces. I'll show you all of them at the end. Alright, so as I finish this up, I'm just going to give you my final thoughts on this craft kit. I feel like the idea of it was really cool, and if it were easier to complete, I think it would have been more successful. But it really just made a big mess, and I was getting frustrated towards the end knowing that the colors were just going to slide out of place from where I wanted them. There are definitely some of these pieces that I absolutely do not like. Either way, as promised, here are my completed pieces, and that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.